To upload grades into your gradebook, I recommend first downloading a copy of your existing gradebook. So here we are in a class. We're going to go to Grades. We're going to go to Export and make sure that you click the Excel spreadsheet, not the Open Documents, the Excel. We're going to download that. And now I'm going to open it in Excel. So here I have what's going to download when you download your gradebook. Typically the students will have ID numbers. These are fake students, so they do not have ID numbers. I can delete the unused columns. So what I need to make sure I have is some sort of identifiable. Email address works, ID number works. Then I'm going to add my data. So for instance, if I want test 1, I'll put the grades in. For that, I can copy, I can paste those, however you get those grades into that Excel spreadsheet. And then I'm going to File, Save As. I'm going to save this to my desktop. And I want to save this as a CSV file, a comma delimited file. So I'm going to close that. And then inside my gradebook, so from our course, we can click on Grades. I want to use the Import feature. I'm going to choose that file, bring that file in. Once this turns blue, I'm going to pick the comma separated value. I'm going to upload grades. And here is where I identify what I'm going to use. So this shows me a preview. And if I scroll over to the side a little bit, you'll see that I have that test 1 available over there. So I want to map the identification from, in this case, email address, and I'm going to map it to email address. Typically, you don't want to use first and last name since you only get one column to choose from. You might have the students with the same first name or the same last name. ID number and email address work best. Then for first name, I want to ignore it. Last name, ignore. ID number and email address, I'm going to ignore those because I don't want to bring those back into the gradebook. They're already there. And for test 1, in this case, I'm going to make a new grade item. If I already had columns in my grading database, so for instance, if I already had one for test 1, I could select it from the new column and it would map that data into that column. Be careful of mapping data into a column that already exists, since it will override any grade that's already there. Even if it's a blank, it'll override blank into the gradebook out of the file. So I'm going to upload grades. Tells me I've been successful. I'm going to hit continue. And now I can look into my gradebook. Here are my students, and here are the 2 new test 1 scores.